Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Recently in the news, there's been speculation about how oil prices could be driven higher by the reductions in OPEC production, decreasing production in Venezuela, and political instability elsewhere in the world. Some are forecasting that oil could even go as high as $100, and that price differential will go down as demand begins to exceed supply. However, getting that value requires access to export markets. To the Premier, with all the delays getting pipelines approved and built, is Alberta going to be in a position to take advantage if prices for oil head higher?
Great question. The Honourable Premier.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, the member opposite outlined something that I think most Albertans are incredibly aware of, which is, of course, we have a problem with pipeline capacity, and we need to have more pipeline capacity. That's why we're very pleased that with the federal government, we've had Line 3 approved and also the Trans Mountain Pipeline approved. And, of course, as I've said before, our government is working with TCPL to support their work on getting Keystone done. So, Mr. Speaker, we understand that pipeline capacity needs to be increased. We are working on every front to ensure that that can happen, Mr. Speaker, because we understand that all Albertans and all Canadians benefit from a healthy energy industry.
First supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Previous fiscal updates have shown that when this government gets unexpected resource revenue, it tends to spend that money before Albertans even find out about it. Last year's Q3 update saw the government collect an extra $1 billion over budget in royalties and then shovel it out the door just as fast as it came in. In the face of mounting debt and deficit, that could be seen as irresponsible. To the Minister of Finance, will you stick to the spending outlined in your budget and commit to any unexpected resource revenue windfall to reducing the debt so that future generations don't get burdened with debt?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much. Q3 brought good news to the province here, Mr. Speaker. We were able to prepay $800 million to municipalities so that they could better address the important infrastructure needs and keep Albertans working. Mr. Speaker, we certainly understand that if the price of oil goes up, there will be potentially some benefit to Albertans. That's a good thing, but we will stick to our budget. We're committed to making sure we deliver the best value for Albertans.
Second supplemental.
While everyone in this House would be happy to see energy prices return to a healthy level, we need to be doing more to reduce government reliance on resource revenue. Recently, the outgoing Auditor General suggested that Alberta would benefit from long-term financial planning as a part of introducing more certainty and predictability to government spending and revenue collection, which is especially relevant given how optimistic your budget long-term projections were. To the same minister, will you detail some actual plans for getting us off the resource roller coaster and release some realistic long-term financial projections?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. You know, the AG's report reinforces our position that Albertans need to get off the resource revenue roller coaster. The previous government spent recklessly and cut drastically, depending on the price of oil that day. We're doing the job, Mr. Speaker, to balance the approach so that we can support working families in this province and continue to drive the economy forward, as it did in 2017 at 4.5% GDP growth.